Hi, One Best PR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are talking right now with SBR contributor, professional handicapper Doug Upstone. It is the wild card round of the NFL playoffs, and this is our regular value plays segment that we do with Doug Upstone. Doug Upstone's had another great year in the NFL, and Doug Upstone, wild card round. We've only got 4 games. Do you have 3 value plays for us this week?
Well, you got to come up with something here. Got an article to write, got a video to do, so you have to have something. So yes, of the different ways, these are, in my opinion, the 3 best plays to look at in terms of value.
All right, well, let's hear. Well, first of all, how'd you do in Week 17? I had a great Week 17. How'd you do, Doug?
I did very well. Also, we in this particular segment had another winning week, closing 7 out of 8 winning weeks on value plays. So yeah, it's obviously it's all good, and obviously the postseason though is a little bit different animals, so not quite as many choices. But hey,
Sure.
You know what? We're going to make it work some way or another.
All right, 3 value plays out of the 4 wild card games. Doug Upstone, what is value play number 1?
My first one, Peter, is with Kansas City minus the 3. Now, these teams played to start the season, Kansas City and Houston, and the Texans are once again an underdog. Now, both these teams had incredible turnarounds this year, with Kansas City winning their last 10 games and Houston winning 7 out of their last nine. And in each case, their defense is what really carried them going forward. Now, when I look at these 2 teams, though, I still like Kansas City to win this game at cover and to advance. I think the biggest edge the Chiefs offer here is at the quarterback position with Alex Smith over Brian Hoyer. Now, one of the key things about Smith is that he is known for not turning the ball over, and that is important in any game, and particularly so in the playoffs, Peter. Now, I look at Hoyer for Houston. He's their best option. He's not the best quarterback in the game, and he lost his job earlier this year, and he's lost his jobs at other locations as well. I'm just not that sold on Houston being able to do the job against Kansas City here. Then one last factor is that if you like Kansas City like I do, know that the straight-up winner of a Texans game this year is a perfect 16-0 against the spread.
Yeah, that is the way I'm leaning as of right now. Of course, Casey was awesome for a long stretch in the middle of the regular season, ATS-wise. Then at the end, they won 4 in a row straight up, but went just 1-3 against the spread in those last 4 games. But I'm leaning towards a cover from Casey here as well. What is your second value play for us, wildcard round NFL, Doug Upstone?
My second value play, Peter, is on Washington. Now, I know you have heard or will have read about all the Green Bay Packers' playoff experience being a factor in beating Washington. But I've also heard that the last 2 weeks, Peter, where they were going to be a great underdog against Arizona and a great favorite against Minnesota, and they failed in both cases. If you take a look at Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers right now and take them at face value, forget the past, just taking how they're playing right now, they're not a good football team. When I look at Washington, Washington is coming to this game invigorated. They won the division. They finished 4-0 straight up and against the spread. And at the quarterback position right today, now I'm not saying all time, Peter, I'm saying right today, Kirk Cousins is playing better football than Aaron Rodgers is right now. He has more offensive weapons, and his offensive line is stronger and healthier than what Aaron Rodgers has with the Packers. Now, detractors will say the Washington defense has been living off turnovers, and they're just getting by. But you know what? I'm thinking like a little Aerosmith talk on this one. They're living on the edge, which is good. And I look at the Packers, Peter, in their last 3 games, they've committed 8 turnovers. You know what? I got Washington by 6.
All right, well, we know that Aaron Rodgers has gone 10 games in a row with a quarterback rating under 100, and of course the Redskins coming off of 4 straight-up wins as an underdog. I faded Green Bay in Week 17. I've generally been looking to fade them, and I might wind up being on the Redskins myself. I like your analysis, Doug Upstone. What is value play number 3?
My third value play, Peter, is on the total between the Chiefs and the Texans. Now, as I mentioned earlier, both these teams have been great defensively coming down the stretch. Kansas City, during their 10-game winning streak, only gave up 12.8 points per game. And then Houston, even though they started 2-5 and had a real debacle against Miami at giving up 44 points at the end of October, they bounced back in their last 9 games and only gave up touchdowns in 5 of those contests. So they really came down the stretch strong. I think both offenses lack a variety of playmakers. They don't make a lot of mistakes, so I'm not sure we're going to get any turnovers, that lead to quick scores. And how I'm viewing this game, Peter, I got Kansas City winning 20-13, which makes this an easy under.
Okay, it is a low total. I previewed this game earlier in the week with a guy who gave the opinion that he liked the over on this one, but certainly can see it both ways. 3 interesting value plays for the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. Thanks so much, Doug Upstone.